$3,500 a month. In Braga, that is a comfortable life. In Lisbon, it is tight. Add 2 kids and a school fee, and the whole calculation changes. I have been living in Portugal for over 5 years, and in this video, I am breaking down exactly what $3,500 gets you across 3 different profiles. Someone moving alone, a couple, and a family. Real numbers, honest verdicts. By the end, you will know exactly where $3,500 puts you. Let's get into it. Before the numbers, one thing you need to understand. Portugal does not have one price reality, it has 2. Lisbon is its own world. Everything else, Porto, Braga, the Algarve, the interior, operates on a completely different level. That gap is not small. It is sometimes the difference between comfortable and stretched on the exact same income. So for every profile, I am giving you both, Lisbon and everywhere else. I am using dollars for the totals because most of you are thinking in dollars. All the local prices are in euros at current rates. If you want to run your own numbers before we get into the breakdown, I built a free cost estimator that gives you a personalized monthly estimate in a few clicks. Link is in the description. Now let's get into the data. You are moving alone. Remote worker, retiree, D7 applicant. This is my case, by the way. Here is what $3,500 looks like for you. Rent is your biggest line. Outside Lisbon, a decent 1-bedroom runs between $750 and $1,000 a month. In Lisbon, that same apartment is $1,100 to $1,650, sometimes more, depending on the neighborhood. Food. If you shop at Pingo Doce or Continente and cook most of your meals, budget $270 to $320. Add a few meals out per week, which is easy to do in Portugal because restaurants are genuinely affordable, and you are at around $380 to $480 total. I am vegan, so in my case eating out is a bit more expensive. If a meat or fish dish costs $15, the same restaurant will have a vegan option for around $19. Not much difference, but it adds up if you eat outside often. Transport. A monthly metro pass costs around $45 in most cities. If you need a car, insurance, fuel, and maintenance will run you $270 to $380 a month. Utilities. Electricity, water, internet. Budget $110 to $220. Portugal's winters are mild, but electricity can spike if you are running air conditioning in summer. Health insurance. Most people underestimate this one. As a non-resident, you are not immediately entitled to the public system. I have a health and travel insurance suggestion for people in the planning and early residency phase. It covers Portugal, works in over 180 countries, and starts from around $60 to $80 a month depending on your age. Link is in the description. Leisure, phone, subscriptions, a weekend in the Alentejo runs around $110 to $160 all in. Budget $165 to $220 a month for this category. The total. Outside Lisbon, a single person on $3,500 spends roughly $1,650 to $2,060 on essentials. That leaves around $1,440 to $1,850 every month. You are living well with real breathing room. In Lisbon, your essentials climb to $2,000 to $2,750. Still comfortable, still with buffer, but you are not saving aggressively. Outside Lisbon, $3,500 is generous. In Lisbon, it is comfortable. That gap matters more than any other variable in this video. And by the way, the average Portuguese person takes home around $1,200 a month. You just ran through a budget that is nearly 3 times that. So when you see comments on my channel saying, foreigners should stop coming, go back to your country, or when you hear locals grumbling about expats, that is where it comes from. You are moving to a country where your normal is someone else's dream income. Rents have gone up because landlords know what foreigners will pay. Young Portuguese people cannot afford to buy a home in the city they grew up in. Some are staying with their parents longer than they want to. Some are moving far from family just to afford rent. Some are rushing into serious relationships or moving in with partners sooner than they are ready for, because splitting rent is the only way to make the numbers work. That is the reality you are landing in. I am not saying do not come. I am saying come with your eyes open and treat the place and the people with that awareness. You are moving with a partner. No kids, 2 incomes, or 1 strong remote salary between you. Here is where $3,500 starts to feel different. Rent. A couple realistically needs a 1-bedroom at minimum, a 2-bedroom if you both work from home and need separate space. Outside Lisbon, a 2-bed runs $1,000 to $1,350 a month. In Lisbon, that same apartment is $1,800 to $2,200 in a livable neighborhood. Food. 2 people, cooking most meals, eating out a couple of times a week. Budget $500 to $670 a month. Transport. 2 metro passes is around $90. If you share 1 car, add $280 to $390. Utilities. A slightly larger apartment, 2 people. Budget $145 to $180. Health insurance. 2 people on a comparable plan runs $110 to $200 depending on your ages. Leisure, dining out, the occasional weekend away. Budget $335 to $445. The total. Outside Lisbon, a couple spends roughly $2,000 to $2,600 a month. On $3,500, that is a surplus of $900 to $1,500. You are building a life, not just surviving it. In Lisbon, the couple's monthly spend climbs to $2,800 to $3,500. You are right at the edge. A proper 2-bedroom in a good area will push you over. Lisbon on $3,500 as a couple works, but it requires deliberate choices about where you rent and how you spend. Outside Lisbon, $3,500 is comfortable with real breathing room. In Lisbon, it is workable but tight. If Lisbon is the goal, $4,500 is where comfort actually starts for a couple. This is where $3,500 gets honest. 2 adults, 2 kids. Most videos skip what I am about to tell you. Rent. You need at least a 2-bedroom, realistically a 3-bedroom if your kids are older. Outside Lisbon, a 3-bed runs $1,350 to $1,800 a month. In Lisbon, a 3-bed in a livable area starts at $2,000 and moves up quickly. Food. A family of 4, cooking most meals, occasional restaurant. Budget $730 to $950 a month. Transport. A family almost always needs a car. Budget $280 to $450 including fuel, insurance, and maintenance. Utilities. Larger space, more usage. Budget $170 to $225. Health insurance. A family plan for 4 people runs $225 to $390 a month. Now the number that changes everything. School. Public school in Portugal is free and the quality is decent. If that is your route, your budget is manageable. International school is a completely different conversation. Most international schools in Portugal charge between $900 and $1,700 per child per month. 2 kids in international school is $1,800 to $3,400 a month on top of everything else. That single line item decides whether $3,500 works for a family or does not. If your kids are in public school outside Lisbon, a family of 4 spends roughly $2,800 to $3,700 a month. You are at the line. Workable but not comfortable. In Lisbon with public school, you are at $3,500 to $4,800. $3,500 does not cover it. With international school anywhere in Portugal, $3,500 is not enough. Full stop. If you want everything in one place, the Portugal Resource Guide covers housing, healthcare, school options, banking, IMA, and way more. It's something I wish I had when I moved from Dallas to Lisbon in 2019. Find the link in the description. $3,500 works for a family only outside Lisbon and only with kids in public school. Change either of those conditions and you need more. The real number for a family that wants to live without financial stress is closer to $5,000. Lisbon costs 30 to 40% more than the rest of Portugal. On the same income, that is the difference between financial comfort and financial pressure. That single variable shapes everything that follows. Single person. Generous outside Lisbon, comfortable in Lisbon. You are fine almost anywhere. Couple. Comfortable outside Lisbon, tight in Lisbon. If Lisbon is the plan, budget $4,500. Family. Works outside Lisbon with kids in public school. Add Lisbon or add international school, and $3,500 does not hold. If you ran these numbers against your situation and something does not add up, tell me about it. Your budget, your family size, where you are thinking of landing. Link is in the description. If I think I can help, I will reach out directly. If you have questions about your specific situation, send me an email. You can find it in the description, and I'll see you there. Ciao!